Studies show that people who do this one thing while job searching find a job 80% to 90% faster. And that one thing is networking. Networking to get a job is the most valuable thing you can do for your career. And the key to networking is to know who you need to network with, how to reach out to those people, what to say when you are networking to get people to want to help you, and how to turn those networking interactions into landing a job. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna do this all in a virtual setting, one-on-one, so you don't have to deal with any awkward networking events or weird mixers. Nice, easy, convenient networking is the key. So that's what we're going to focus on here today. So just so we know we're all on the same page, I want everyone to rate how awkward you find networking in the comments section down below, with 1 being, not too awkward, I could totally handle it, to 5 being, that is the last thing I would want to do with my time, regardless of whether or not it gets me a job. Now, I am not going to promise that we're going to completely reduce the awkwardness from networking, but using my methods, we will reduce that awkwardness by at least 95%, making it quite a tolerable and enjoyable experience. So first, we are going to make a list of 5 people that we would like to network with. We'll start by writing down the name of someone who has a job that you think you might enjoy doing if you could get that job one day. Next, we're going to write down the name of someone who works at a company that you think you would like to work at one day. Third, we're going to write down the name of someone in our life who has had a successful career who we admire, wouldn't mind having a similar story to one day. Now, if you have multiple people from one of those first 3 categories that you want to write on that list, that is totally fine. In fact, that is great. Another way that we can do this to add a couple more names to our outreach list, which again, we don't want to push to more than 5 people right now, we're just starting out. But another way you can do that is by searching on LinkedIn. Now, if you search on LinkedIn, there is an option to search for people. So you'll type in a job title that you're interested in and see if you know anyone who has that same job title. Same with a company. Do I know anyone who works at this company that I want to work at? Now, if you know someone, great, add them to the list. If you don't, you might see some second-degree connections on LinkedIn, which means that you know someone who knows the person who has this job or works at this company. So in that case, we're going to write both of their names down on our list, and I'll show you what to do with those names in just a second. If you are enjoying this video, my friends, make sure to take a second now to like and subscribe, because I am putting out all my best job search advice right here on YouTube every single week, and I would hate for you to miss out. Also, liking and subscribing helps me reach more people, which is my ultimate goal. Now, let's dive back in. Next, for anyone on our list who we want to reach out to that we already know, we're going to send them a message that says something like this. And this is simply us just asking if they could talk to us on the phone or a Zoom meeting or maybe coffee for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, just so we can pick their brain a bit more about their career, history, and also just start to connect with them so that they might one day turn into someone who would be willing to help us get a job. Now, if we are reaching out to someone who knows the person that we want to reach out to, we will say something like this, and this is just going to tell them that, hey, we want your help. And if you can introduce me, this would be fantastic. And we're also understanding that maybe they don't actually know this person, because sometimes on LinkedIn we're connected with people we don't know. So we just want to be understanding. Send a simple message like this. If they put you in touch with that other person, then you'll send a modified version of the previous message. If you want those scripts and other helpful email templates, download my free ebook, 9 must-have emails for your job search. The link is down below in the description. Now, let's talk about what we are going to say to this person and how we're going to behave once we finally have talked someone into connecting with us. So here are a few important guidelines. Number 1, we are not going to talk their ear off. We are not going to spend a ton of time selling ourselves, pitching ourselves. Of course, we will answer if they have any questions, but this conversation is mostly about us learning about them. The more we can hear about their career, the more information we have to go on, and the more we give them a chance to talk about themselves, the more they are going to enjoy the conversation, because who doesn't like talking about themselves? The second thing you want to do is prepare some questions to ask them. This could be about their current job, about their career path, or any advice they have. I usually say come up with 7 to 10 questions, but be prepared to only ask 4 or 5 of them depending how the timing goes. Here's some examples, but you can ask them anything that sort of feels right to get the information you're looking for to help you on your way. Number 3, go with the flow of conversation. If they're going to answer each of your questions one at a time, that is great. But if they go off topic and start talking about hobbies or other things that they enjoy, just go with it, because our number one priority is to build a good relationship with this person so that they may be interested in helping us get a job later on. And finally, a very important guideline: we at no point during this call are going to directly ask this person to help us get a job. It's just too awkward, and if they say no, it could damage the relationship one way or another. In most cases, if they've had a great time and they are actually able to help, they're just gonna offer. Everyone in this situation knows that you're job searching and that you need help, so the ask is implied. Now, if they offer to take a look at your resume or recommend you to someone else or even invite you to apply to a job that they're hiring for, excellent. 10 out of 10 result. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, that's not gonna happen every single one of these calls, and in some cases, they may not offer any kind of help at the end. So there's one thing that we will ask for if this happens. What we're going to ask for is for them to connect us to someone else in their network who we might be able to learn a little bit more from. This is not a huge ask, and most people are more than willing to at very least send an email to introduce you to someone else, at which time we can connect with that person, continue growing our network, and try again to find someone who's actually going to help us land a job right now. Now, if you go through this process enough times, my friend, you will find some people who are very excited to help you land a job. Now, that might not happen the very first time you have one of these conversations, but you will certainly get there. Now, of course, in that situation, they're going to ask you probably to send your resume onto them or to apply to a job that you might have to interview for. I want you to be able to nail those parts of this process as well, so please check out my other videos. I have lots of great content on resumes, cover letters, job searching, LinkedIn, everything you could imagine. I'll see you over in those other videos. Let's get you ready to land a job you love.